So we have now gone through 11 weeks of the NFL season. The Packers are currently sitting at 6-3-1. I want to take a look at the current NFC playoff seeding just to get an idea of what's going on right now in the NFL. The Packers have 7 regular season games remaining. 5 of the next 7 games are against NFC North opponents. 3 of the next games, 3 in a row, are against NFC North opponents. And so there's still a lot of games here that are going to dictate how the Packers finish this season and whether they make the playoffs, and if they make the playoffs, where their seeding could be. So first off, here is this from ESPN, the current NFC playoff seeding. We have Eagles number 1, Rams number 2, Bears number 3, Buccaneers number 4, Seahawks 5, Packers 6, 49ers 7, Lions 8, Panthers 9, Cowboys 10. So at the current time, the Bears are the best team record-wise in the NFC North at 7-3. The Packers are just slightly behind them at 6-3-1. And as I said, if we look at the next 3 games, Vikings on Sunday, then the Lions on Thanksgiving, and then the Bears. Then we have a couple other games. The non-NFC North games are against very good teams. The Broncos, who have been playing very good football this season. Then the Bears once again. Then the Ravens, who are always a team that you have to come ready to play against with Lamar Jackson. And then finally, to end the season against the Minnesota Vikings. And so when we look at the Packers the past couple seasons, they did not win the NFC North the past 2 years. And Jordan Love's first season, they're the 7th seed. They beat the Cowboys. They then lose to the Niners. Then this past season, once again, they're the 7th seed. They took on the number 2 seed Eagles, who beat them in the first round. And so I think that for myself, I wanted to see the Packers be one of those top 4 seeds to at least get one home game. And obviously, best case scenario, you can get the number 1 seed, get a bye. That would be great. And thankfully, that's still a possibility if the Packers can play cleaner football, be more consistent, because the Eagles and Rams are 8-2, Packers 6-3-1, just slightly behind them. So there's still 7 games left. There's a lot that can happen from now into the future. And currently, according to NFL Next Gen stats on the I believe this is on NFL.com's site, they have the Packers at a 74% chance of making the playoffs. So it's not a given the Packers make the playoffs. And I think that we're going to know a lot about this Packers team the next 3 weeks against these NFC North teams. Thankfully, currently, because the Packers did beat the Lions in week 1, they really played well in that one. 27-13, they're 1-0 in the NFC North. This next game is against the Vikings, who have struggled a little bit with J.J. McCarthy, who hasn't really played great football. Carson Wentz also a little bit shaky during the games that he played in. But these NFC North games are going to greatly dictate the Packers' season, especially considering a majority of the Packers' remaining games are against different NFC North opponents. And so for me right now, I still think this is a team that if they play at their best level, I think that they still can be a Super Bowl winning team. Now, I would say that there are a lot of reasons that this could not be the case, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was the case. Just with the inconsistency on offense, we've seen it time and time again. You have missed blocks, you have drops this past week especially. You have a lot going wrong and a lot of inconsistency on the offensive side of the ball. And I think that if we can see the Packers play more like they did last week, now that was a really bad defense in the Giants, then this team does have a chance to be a threat come playoff time. There's no doubt about that, but I would say that there's a lot more concerns that I have now than I would have had right when the season started. I just think that I thought we'd see a more consistent Packers team. It felt like, I know the Packers are still a very young team, but it felt like with the experience they got the past couple seasons, a lot of them being young rookies, young players, that we would see just cleaner football overall. And I think that's one of the problems with this Packers team right now, is that they just make way too many mistakes, way too much undisciplined football. And when you start to get into some of these matchups against really good teams, you can't play undisciplined football and expect to go on a run in the playoffs when you play some of the best teams in the NFL. I just doubt that if they keep that up, that this will be a team that we see get to a Super Bowl. But that's not to say they can't do it. They definitely can. We just need them to get hot at the right time and take care of business against these other NFC North teams. I'm going to do more of these videos in the next few weeks as we continue. But feel free to subscribe down below if you want more Packers content. And I'll see you guys next time.